Hi, how is everyone? Welcome to Living in the Light, and I'm Mary Amy. I'm coming to you live from New York. I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your true potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. Welcome to the fifth dimension. Hello, how is everyone? Have you awakened out of your slumber? Yes, here I am, and of course there was difficulties getting here today. I mean, I don't know what's going on with my computer. I had issues the other evening when I did we did a live chat with Michael Edley, and that was one thing because we're doing the Zoom and the YouTube. But tonight, for some reason, somehow my computer settings got all out of whack, and I don't know. So I apologize, but here I am. It's September 19th. In the Matrix work week. It's Tuesday. So tonight we're going to cover topics like shedding, emergency broadcast system, emergency alert system. I'm also going to cover DNA activation, which is imperative for all of us to be activated. Now, anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Mary Amy. And why am I doing this? Because I feel the need. It's my mission. I love coming to you live. I like connecting with you because we are all connected, aren't we? You and I, are part of a whole. We are pieces just like every piece of nature out there, and every single organic being out in our world, in the outer world, the physical reality, are all connected. Now, what are we doing here? What are we doing? We are trying to activate, and that's why we're going to get into activation, activate our DNA blueprint, because since we were born here, unless you were really nurtured, maybe you did grow up in a family that was focused on using your imagination, meditation, something artistic. But if you weren't, you might not have been able to really connect to who you really are within you. You have a higher consciousness that you're capable of attaining. And how do we do that? Well, we're going to expand our senses, and that's why we practice our clear senses. We're going to bring light into our physical reality and within us, and we do exercises about that. And it's also about kind of jarring your system, saying, wait, what about this? It's about questioning. That's why I say I am a rebel. I'm a truth seeker. I'm not the rebel that creates havoc out there in the physical reality. I'm a rebel that believes there's another reality. It's about your belief system. It's about altering your belief system. It's maybe about just taking a little tiny moment to think, I never thought of that possibility. How many of my thoughts are my own? And how many of them are embedded in us? Mind control, maybe it's through propaganda on the mainstream media, or it could be just the way you grew up. So together we are finding our way. Hey, music, thanks for joining us. Now, I just want to share with you, I was not okay the last few days. I'm going to tell you, because I have been having, and I don't know if I've mentioned it to you, I have this issue. Now, I've told you that I have these autoimmunes, but I have these kidney stones. Yes, I do. I have kidney stones. And so I had over the weekend, well, it was actually Friday, I actually had the procedure to blast through sound, blast your kidney stones. And I had 2 very large kidney stones, personal story. And I had gone into the hospital. I had this procedure, and they put you under anesthesia. And then you have to take some kind of painkiller because the pain is really powerful, and it hurts you. It's like you can't even sleep. So I was on painkillers for 24 hours. So today, I have to tell you, later today is the first time that I actually am starting to feel like myself. I don't know if you've ever undergone some kind of operation or some kind of anesthesia, but I'm so sensitive, and maybe you are as well, that it totally affected me. And I went to my job in the Matrix yesterday, and I had to leave because I had nausea and dizziness because I wasn't really healed. And I think I'm on my way to healing because I'm planning on going to the gym tomorrow. Anyone who's joining us, hey, Bob Harding. Well, you know what? I have to tell you guys that it's funny. This is what my mom, Elsa's walking around because we've changed. We have a little chair back here. We don't have the couch. I moved the couch around. I moved my furniture around. So she can sit here if she chooses to, but she's walking around. What I did realize that because I had these kidney stones and they were very large, I'm sure that was creating some imbalance in my system. And I think the fact that they're blasted and they're gone now, that maybe I'll feel better. Maybe I'll be healthier. I'm crossing my fingers. Hope so. Now, I know there's so much going on in the physical reality. Are we in the middle of a shift? I believe we are. A transition. We've got the black hats, the white hats. We have good and evil. It's a spiritual war. And who's going to win? Good will prevail, doesn't it? I mean, I believe, and I've been saying, I'm going to mention angels right now. I believe that the angels come down from heavens and they're here to protect us, aren't they? Do they tell you why the stones fell? You know what? They claim that there's ways to find out. However, guess what? There hasn't been any kind of results that tell us why, because I've had them since 2009, but in the last 6 months I had them chronically. I was passing kidney stones every couple of weeks. So I don't know. Answer is don't know. But we'll see what's going to happen next. So angels come down from the heavens. They ascend and descend on a staircase, and they can perform divine intervention for you. Now, how do you bring angels into your life? Well, they are beautiful beings of light, just like you are. You're a beautiful being of light. You're highly advanced, more so. That's why we're going to get into DNA activation. And angels are here, and I believe they come down from God. They're from God, and this might be considered an archangel, maybe Archangel or Archangel Michael or Gabriel. And there's a few archangels. You can look them up if you want to kind of find out about them, because they definitely can assist us and guide us and help us to feel supported, that we're not alone. When I was going through a difficult situation, I had my third eye activated, my mind's eye, and I could see into the angelic realm, and I would be praying, asking for assistance to get through a tough situation. And I felt that I was lifted. I'd say, can you lift me up and get through this? Sometimes it's easier to get through a difficult situation if you take out the emotion, but that's not so easy, is it, to take out the emotion? Because we reside in emotion. We reside in how do we feel? And I do ask you to tune into your heart and how you feel. But angels can help us. They can guide us. They can be messengers. They're warriors from the heavens to earth. And during this spiritual war that we've been encountering here on the earth, there has been a lot of evil. And we have to be strong and brave. Think of your affirmations. Think of a mantra. I am brave. And how are you going to get brave? You're going to get brave by just saying it, by believing it. And it's almost like fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. I don't know if we're necessarily born brave. Sometimes we have to undergo a challenging circumstance to become brave. Maybe we become brave for others. If you have children, maybe you can be more brave for a friend or a child than yourself sometimes. Like, I'll get through this situation for that person. And all of a sudden you realize how much strength you have within you. And you have so much more strength than you realize. You most definitely do. And you have skills that you don't even know. So the first topic tonight is shedding. Probably diet related. Well, you know what? Maybe, but you know what? It's funny because my diet's completely different than it was in 2009. So I don't know. I mean, is it that I eat healthy? I don't know what it is. I mean, it runs in the family. It runs in my family. My father had kidney stones. Elsa, do you want to come and join us over here? Do you want to sit on the chair? How do you feel? Let me see if Elsa wants to join us. Should we put down your blanket? See if you want to sit with us tonight and be part of this? Yes, no, maybe? Let's see. Let's see if Elsa wants to. See, here's Elsa. There's Elsa. Say hello. Hello. Okay, we'll put Elsa over here. Let's see. You want to sit there, Elsa? How do you feel? Cozy? Okay. Okay. So shedding. Now, what is shedding? Well, I brought this topic up because I thought to myself, I really feel like I'm shedding the old version of me. And maybe we do anyway, without even having some kind of spiritual experience or activation. We might just be shedding every day because we're growing and transforming and transmuting into a better version of ourselves. I hope, I wish. And what is shedding exactly? Well, it's the throwing away, it's the discarding, it's ditching something. It's the process of letting go. And sometimes we shed parts of our lives. We have, I guess you could say, a period of time, an era of your life. And then when you are ready to move on, and maybe when you're a kid, it's you're shedding some of your old belongings or, sporting equipment. Maybe it's you're shedding people, relationships. You might be shedding a characteristic of yourself that you don't like anymore. There's a lot of possibilities for shedding. And I'm bringing up shedding because I know that in this world that we're living in right now, in this moment, September 19th, 2023, there are many earthlings that are shedding their old belief systems, their old attachments, because it's not really working anymore. It's not valuable to them. And when we shed, it's something that we don't want anymore. Are you shedding anything? Any of you? How are you feeling? Write in the chat and tell me. Tell me where you're coming from. Tell me what is significant. If there's anything I'm saying that you don't agree with, I'm all in for that. I'd love you to share with me, because I'm just giving you information that I'm finding or I'm researching, and sometimes it's a personal experience. And we don't all have to think alike. I mean, I think we come together and we're all under the same belief that we want good things. I want good things for you because you're a beautiful being of light. You're worthy. You are a sacred being. You're highly advanced. Doesn't matter where you live, what you do, what you look like, or what you have. You are worthy as is. You do not have to alter yourself. So when we shed, we're going to dump, we're going to eliminate, we're going to reject, we're going to toss, we're going to unload. And we've all grown to know some of these thoughts that we've had, some past worrisome thoughts, a perspective. So maybe we can shed some of that. We can let go, and it's not going to, we're not using it anymore. It's not useful. It's not something we need to have. So we can shed it. We can let go of it. I know that it serves us. Sometimes having a concern or a focus serves us, but then we can let it go. The more that we come to terms with who we really are. So if there is something that's bothering you, realize it, admit to it, find your truth. Because when you are embracing all of you, you will be quicker to actually get to the fulfilling part, to get to the happiness part of your life. And we want it in this moment. We don't want to wait 10 or 20 years. We want to figure it out right now. So maybe shedding will be something like, I'm going to give you a sentence and you fill it in. For example, if I don't blank, be broke. If I don't blank, I won't be accepted. So in other words, try to take out these musts and have tos. We want to let go of that. Basically, if I don't do this, this won't happen to me. Take that belief system out of your mind. Don't make such demands on yourself. In other words, what I'm trying to say is we want to be liked. We've been taught, and especially through social media, well, if I say this or do this or look like this or look like that, I'm going to be liked. I'm going to be followed. And then we think, oh, don't say that because I'll be criticized, or people won't like me, or they won't agree with me. How about we take that out? It could be anything as simple as, if I don't use this green cup, people won't like me. Who cares if they like me? It doesn't matter if I have a green cup. Or if I don't do this specific job, or eat this certain food, or drive this specific car. Don't make so many demands on yourself. Let's try to find out who exactly you are and take away all of these thoughts that aren't ours. We're trying to get to our core here. We're trying to discover exactly who we are. And that's how we're going to activate ourselves. So we take away this issue that we have to be accepted, we have to be liked. So in this moment, let's consider that a lot of what we've been listening to and hearing in our physical reality, in our outer world, is going to be fake, false, deceptive, lies. So let's become less dependent on what everyone else says. We're going to take away old habits and old beliefs. We're shedding it. We're letting it go. We're going to let it go because the tide is turned, and that's where the world is going. It seems right now as though sometimes if we look out in the physical reality, it's hopeless. Oh gosh, everything's awful. It's just hopeless out there. That's what it feels like sometimes. Like I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to have my dream come true. Things are difficult. Things are horrible. What do I say? Light on the horizon, right? I would look through this window in my dream, and I'd go up to the window. This is one of my dreams. And I look through this rectangular window, and there would be the sun rising. And light on the horizon means good things are coming beyond our view. A difficult situation will improve. Good things are coming. You have to believe that because your thoughts are that powerful. We speak of our thoughts. We say how important our dreams are. Let's write them down. Get a dream journal. Jot them down. The date, the time, what was your emotion, as much as you can when you first wake up. I have a little clipboard with a pad of paper, and I just scribble it on there, and it means something to me. And that's all that matters. And I will look at it later on, and I'll say, oh, that's right, that was my dream. Is there anything here that I need to know? Is it guiding me somewhere? So there's our dreams. There's our thoughts that are very powerful because our thoughts are meant for us. Just like any times you receive any information, a sensation, an impression that comes through to you, it's meant for you. Maybe it's going to come through in a sound, a voice. It's from an outside source. We speak of this. Maybe it's going to be a mental picture. And the more that you practice your clear senses, the more that you accept all your gifts, all your abilities, because you are clairvoyant. You have these abilities within you, whether you realize it or not. It just has to be practiced and accepted, a willingness. So our thoughts are very powerful. Our intention is very powerful as well. Do you have a good intention? And when I bring up this topic of shedding, it's my intention is to get to the other side of this, to let go of whatever I'm not utilizing anymore. Because the old version of me, where I'm going, I don't need a lot of the things I needed before because it's a new world. It's a new civilization that we're heading into. And this civilization is not about hate. It's not about satanic rituals. It's not about get out of my way, I'm getting to the prize. It's not going to be about that. It's about everyone's going to be holding each other's hands. We're going to be in a higher consciousness. We're going to be thinking about peace and love. We're also going to be raising our vibration to a higher frequency. So now that our truth is coming forward and our consciousness is expanding, are there some real clear signs that it's happening soon. Well, I want to bring up the emergency alert system. Allegedly, it's even in the news, mainstream media, they're going to be having an alert go off on October 4th. There's some dates coming up. I heard this weekend, September 23rd, is something might happen. I don't know. Something might happen. Is that just a rumor, a myth? I don't know. But I did read, and it's not just the truthers are saying it, but it is coming through on the news cycle that October 4th at 2:20, the emergency alert system is going to go on. Emergency broadcast system. It was initially the emergency broadcast system. And it's going to be an intentionally loud and alarming sound. Why is this about to happen? Well, FEMA and the FCC are planning a nationwide emergency alert test across the entire nation at 2:20 on October 4th. It's a Wednesday. It's going to be sent to all the radios and TVs. Now, I'm hearing from some truthers that it's a good idea not to turn your phone on, not to have your television on, because is it going to affect us? What is the sound that they are going to emit? Now, I mentioned to you a few weeks ago when we had these fires, and I'm not going to get deeply into that because I had some kind of frequency sent to me, and it wasn't good. I'm not gonna say it out loud because on YouTube there are some censorship. There's some censorship. But back to this emergency alert system, formerly known as the emergency broadcast system. You probably heard it, and I'll show you a little picture I have. Where is that picture? So here it is. So it's like this, and it goes off on your television. You might have heard it, and it's this loud sound, something like that. Well, apparently all radios and televisions are going to receive this alert on October 4th. What does that mean? Does anyone have any kind of input on that? Bob Harding, I went through a period of several months of real profound ideas and events, one after another, and then everything. Blah and boring, really? I don't know, Bob Harding, if I believe things are blah and boring for you. You always seem to have so much, I guess, mystical experiences. This test allegedly is going to take 30 minutes that this is going to go off. So is this a transmitted message from the white hats or the black hats? FEMA claims to ensure the emergency alert system is in working and functioning order in case of a disaster. Is it the cabal? Is it the elite cabal doing this, the black hats? And are they scheduling this because they're going to set off the 5G towers, and everyone who's gotten any kind of medicine, it's going to affect them? Is this telling us that we are in the midst of big change, some kind of transition? Is this an indication? There's a lot of ifs, aren't there? I'm not really quite sure what's going to happen. Is this a warning of a dire event to come? Or possibly something related to martial law or the Nasara Jasara? I don't know. I guess we have to wait and find out till October 4th. Am I going to be putting my television and phone and my phone on? I don't know. I'm questioning whether or not that I want to hear this, and I'm questioning whether or not it's a good idea, because something's going to happen. If I don't have my phone on, is it a good idea? Probably. I probably will not have my phone on, because I don't know what it's going to emit. I don't know. And I'm not really trusting the principal players in this. What is music saying? Grade school desk to hide. Oh, you went onto the, yeah. Always making sure people have a fear-provoking event. Yes, doesn't matter, just wears people. Well, you know what you're saying is valuable. However, because I've been hearing over and over for months, emergency broadcast system, it's going to go off, and then we're going to have 10 days of darkness, and then we're going to have the Nisara Jasara, and then 6,000 patents are going to be released, and we're going to have the gold standard and a new financial system. We're going to cancel all credit card debt, mortgages, and income tax, and remove the IRS and new currency. It's going to prohibit selling birth certificates, and the Federal Reserve will end, and the dumbs and the tunnels and the child trafficking, and there'll be world peace, and they'll release huge amounts of money for humanitarian efforts and 6,000 patents of suppressed technologies. There's going to be free energy and anti-gravity vehicles and a nationwide, I mean, it goes on and on. So that's why I wonder, I'm curious. I'm just curious. So I believe that we should probably step away from electronics, and that's what I'm going to do. This is somebody calling me, but I can't talk. Oh. I'm doing a live. I have to call you back. Okay, so you can watch my live. How's that? Okay, bye. What does this say? Hey, Mary, oh, hi, Trident. Your show, and we'll play from the, I'll just buzz you when you turn it on. All right, music, you do that. Wishing you a graceful, thank you. So anyway, moving on, everyone. Family of light. Let's get off this. You're right. It's a lot of negativity, the emergency broadcast system. We're going to let go of that. We're going to get on to DNA activation, which is highly, highly important, isn't it? We are activating ourselves, and how are we going to do that? Well, each of us has 10 etheric strands of DNA that are untapped and unused. So when you DNA activate, you will uncover your truest potential. It sounds a farce. Really, Mary? I'm gonna tap into something that doesn't exist. Well, guess what? I'm going to tell you that in the last, I would say, since before I had this procedure on Friday, it started happening for me, where I sensed it was real. And what did I sense? I sensed that the old version of me was placed over here, and then this more improved, better improved version of me was looking at the old version. Like I could see it, and everything that I wished and wanted in the past I was capable of. And what I mean by that is, like, it's almost like when you're learning something. Have you ever had, maybe you were learning how to play an instrument, or you were involved in some kind of sports, and you started out and you were an amateur and you didn't know how to do it, and you had to kind of work your way up. Like, I'm a runner. So when I go back to running, and I haven't run for a while, I can't expect myself to do the 4.5 miles. I have to say, okay, I can't do the whole 4.5 miles. Let's just see how far I can get. Usually by the second or third time I've gone out, I'm back to it. And that's what I'm referring to. When your DNA activates, it's going to be a process. It's not going to be like magic that all of a sudden all of you is going to come online. It's going to come in like pieces and levels, and then all of a sudden it's going to excel. And when does it excel? Well, it excels when you accept it. I believe it excels when you are I guess over the target, I should say. And it might just be with the expanded awareness of other earthlings, it might be bringing you to a higher level at the same time. So it's an enhancement of you. So you're enhancing you. Hey, Trident, what are you writing? Another incredible discussion. Well, thank you so much, Trident. I could see you doing cross country. Well, thanks. You know, I love running. I'm from my family is runners. I love running. Um, so how is this going to happen? Well, we're going to dig deep. We're going to go down the rabbit hole together right now with our DNA. And then we're going to get onto psychic phenomenon, and we're going to get onto our chakras. So when you are, and you've probably seen me hold this up before, you're basically, here you are, your physical self, right? And you're going to kind of expand. And I think it might just very well be cosmically. And you're expanding all of you. So you're, and maybe it's little bits, you're growing. Like a child that is growing, when you put the kid up against the wall and you measure them, you're going to grow like that. All of a sudden, you're going to grow by leaps and bounds. And then you're going to kind of connect on this other level telepathically. And for me, I realized, like I said, end of last week, that this was happening to me. And the old version of me would say things like, oh, you can't do that. And now this version of me says, I'm ready for it. Whatever it is that I wanted to do, oh, I can do it. I have to just accept it. I don't know if I was ready before. I just think it probably is my DNA activating. So here we go. Now, how are you going to DNA activate? Maybe you already have. You're going to DNA activate first and foremost by accepting your heart and accepting yourself. Grounding yourself, like we say, and we're going to do that together right now. So let's do some of this together. We'll make it little steps so it won't feel like it's dragging on. And how are we going to do these steps? Well, we know we have to uncross our legs. We're going to sit in a comfortable position. We're going to let go of any kind of tension that we have within us. And we're going to really focus on grounding ourselves. And when we say grounding ourselves, we mean that we are coming from a place that we're aware of what's going on here. We don't have looping thoughts. We're not stuck with something that happened 20 minutes ago or where we're going in the future. We're here right now. When we ground ourselves, we're in the moment. And when you're in the moment, you can create so much. You can achieve so much. And that's where all the energy lies, is in the moment. The energy does not lie in what you did 20 minutes ago, so it doesn't matter. And it definitely doesn't lie in tomorrow. The energy is all here in this moment. And how do we find this moment? Well, we find this moment by imagining our feet firmly planted in the earth's surface. We're going to wiggle our toes. We're going to let go of any tension in our bodies. We're going to let out a breath. We're going to say, here we are in this moment. Well, in this moment, I'm holding up this green cup. There's a table right here. Elsa's over there. And we're going to really make, I guess you could say, a proclamation that we are here. We are here. And when you're in the moment with someone, you know when it's happening because you lock eyes with them, and all of a sudden, you realize something about them. Maybe you hear something. Maybe it calms you. Maybe it excites you. Maybe it stresses you out. And those are the moments. That's the moment. So in that moment, whenever you have a moment like that, a lot can happen. And sometimes you even receive their thoughts. Okay, so we are grounding ourselves. We're imagining our feet firmly planted. The base of our spine, our root chakra, right? Our butt, the bottom of our butt, our root chakra, we are imagining that plunging down. We're also going to imagine light. We're going to imagine all of our chakras going up to the heavens, up to the sky, up to the ether. And so we are really grounded. That's how we are going to center ourselves, by being grounded and having gratitude. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for being alive. Okay? That's how we're going to ground ourselves. And those are the moments when you ground yourselves and you're in the moment that you can create. So if you want right now, we can create something. We can imagine something right here. What is it that you want? Let's utilize this moment right here because we're doing it. So my feet are in the ground, firmly in the ground, wiggling my toes. And I'm imagining whatever it is that I want, every single aspect of it. What is it that I want? What am I seeing? What am I smelling? What am I sensing about what I want? And it's in this moment, and that's how I can create it. Can you see what it is you want? And maybe you're going to put light around it. Maybe you're going to put light within it. And you are going to believe. You're going to have self-confidence. Because when you believe, you are capable of so much. And so I'm going to take one moment here, 1 second. And I'm going to see exactly what I want, what I desire. And I hope you can do this as well. Okay, done. All right, so we are going to begin channeling our higher self. Your higher self is going to heal you without physical manipulation. And that's what DNA activation is. You are going to heal yourself without really forcing it. It's just going to happen. And when the activation occurs, there's some other things that are going to happen to you physically, emotionally, spiritually. We're going to get into this. So DNA activation is reactivating the 10 strands known as the junk DNA within your system. And it's going to clear blockages. You're going to find your life purpose. You're going to open up your third eye. And you're going to be able to reach a higher level of happiness and consciousness and vibrational frequency. Your vibration is going to raise, which means some of those people out there in the physical reality aren't really going to be interested in hanging out with you anymore. They're not going to really get you. And then some of those that didn't get you before are going to get you now. They're going to understand you. And you're going to make new friends. And maybe you're going to encounter someone that will stick around for a long time. Maybe you'll fall in love. Maybe you will find your best friend, your soulmate. It might just be that you find yourself when you DNA activate. So you are accessing your internal original blueprint that's within you. And again, I'm going to say it's not going to happen overnight, but there's ways for us to reach this. You can reach this through meditation, and I'm going to explain that. You will be reading a higher level of happiness, consciousness, and vibrational frequency. What are the benefits of activating your DNA activation? What are the benefits? The benefits are going to be things like you're going to have increased physical energy. Your hair is going to grow faster. Your skin is going to be more radiant. You're going to improve your memory. You're going to crave healthy food. I don't know if you want to crave healthy food. During yoga and light workout and absorbing the show, it is my favorite topics. Oh, well, thanks, Trident. Trident, I met Trident on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And I don't know if anyone got to see the Michael Edley video. We did it live, and we had some of you guys were on it. And anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And Michael Edley and I are working on doing a radio show together. That's the newest thing. So I'm doing my Roku, and I'm filming that. I was going to film it today, but I wasn't feeling perfect. So I'm probably filming it next week. So my first video will go up on Roku in the next few weeks. And I'm excited about that. And it's the basics of extrasensory perception. All right. So when we activate our DNA, which this photo is basically showing, I guess, the possibilities. It's hard for you to understand if some of it hasn't already happened to you yet. It's just, I guess it's mystical, it's otherworldly, it's psychic, it's It's phenomenon. It's psychic phenomenon for sure. So the benefits are going to be emotional. You're going to love oneself more. You're going to love yourself. You're going to have less anxiety and stress. You're going to have more patience and gratitude when you DNA is activated, which is your 10 etheric strands of DNA that are untapped and unused are going to be found within you. And we're going to I'm going to explain to you how you can activate this. We started by saying it's urgent that you ground yourself and you become more centered. And you can do that. You don't have to be sitting here quietly. Let's say you're at your job in the matrix and you're sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. What's happening right here? You can take a moment. You can just imagine your feet firmly planted in the earth and the base of your spine in the ground. Remind yourself to have gratitude. Push away any looping thoughts. Be in this moment, have gratitude. And you can do it. You can ground yourself like that. When you have anxiety, when you're stressed out, when you're going through some kind of emotional distress, you can ground yourself. Now, the more that you practice this, the better you're going to get at doing it. So emotionally, if you activate your DNA, you'll have less anxiety, less stress, more patience. You'll be able to recall your dreams more clearly. And you're again going to have improved memory. Now, spiritually, what's going to happen? Well, you'll be able to access your desires and manifest them. You'll discover your life purpose. What exactly am I supposed to be doing? Is it meaningful? What is the meaning of life? You might start to question things a little bit more. And you will also be able to be clairvoyant, claircognizant, and clairsustenance. Which is clairvoyant is you're going to be able to connect to higher realms, spirits, angelic beings. You'll be able to see another dimension, past, present, future. You might begin to have premonition dreams. There's a lot that comes with this. It's pretty exciting. Now, claircognizance is you're going to be able to hear, see, and feel. Clairsustenance, you're going to feel. Like we say, let's tune into our heart right now. Let's do that right now. Let out a breath, maybe. How are you feeling? What's one word you can come up with? If I was to tune into my heart right now, maybe you have layers and layers over your heart. Maybe you're in the middle of something painful, or maybe you're just not tuned in. How are you going to tune in? Well, you're going to give yourself permission. You're going to give yourself permission to feel. It's not always acceptable to feel. Oh, you're overreacting. You're too sensitive. You ever heard that? Come on, what's the big deal? Let it go. Push it away. But you're feeling something and you're saying, wait a second, I'm hurt, or whatever it is. So I would like you to tune into your heart. And so if I could tune into my heart right now, what would I feel? So I ask myself, I pose that question to myself, how am I feeling? I feel hopeful. And I need to feel hopeful. I went through, since Friday, I was feeling really down. I had that procedure. I had the anesthesia. I felt really down because it was foggy. When I opened my eyes, I had dizziness. I had a headache. I felt like things were hopeless. And it wasn't that long. It was, what is that? Friday, really Saturday, Sunday, Monday were rough days for me. But now today, I feel hopeful. So what are you feeling right now? Music, what do you say? I'm experiencing all of these things to a certain extent. Excellent. Bare feet touching the ground. Thank you, music, reminding me that. I appreciate that. Okay, so spiritually, we're going to raise ourselves to another Woohoo! Someplace else, the 5th dimension. We are in the 5th dimension, aren't we? And so how are we going to do some of this? Well, I said it. We're going to ground ourselves. But it's a little bit more, it's a little bit more than that we have to do. We're going to have to do some things like meditate. And how and why? Because you're not going to activate your DNA out here. You're just not. You're not going to go over there and flip a light switch and say, I'm activated. It's not going to work like that. Everything is going on within you, your system, your organic, original, natural aspects of yourself, parts of yourself, your DNA, your genetic makeup. And that's where it's going to come from. So through meditation, we can do this. You're going to connect with your higher life force. You're going to connect maybe with angels, enlightened beings. And you might choose a guided meditation. You might choose just to do it in silence. Like I say, you turn everything off and you tune in. So you're going to close your eyes and you're going to focus on your breath. You're going to do 3 inhales and exhales, aren't you? You're going to really calm down your system. Not so much that you fall asleep. We want to stay awake through this. But it's really about acceptance. And something cockeyed might come into your head and you say, oh my gosh, that's so bizarro. Like, or I'm hearing something that's not real. There's not going to be any proof. You have to believe. You have to believe, because there are going to be some very strange, weirdo experiences you're going to have. And you're going to have to say, you know what? I think that's what Mary spoke about, or I read about that. So I'm going to accept it and see where it goes. And you're going to try these things. Now you can try it through meditation. You can also turn on some music. Now I can't play it for you because then it will say copyright. But I was listening to it before we came on tonight, and I was kind of upset because my technology wasn't working. It said my camera wasn't on, my microphone wasn't on, then I couldn't get on. It was just ridiculous. And so I was playing this, and what I was playing was 528 hertz frequency, which helps to relax you deeply, and it repairs DNA. So put on 528 hertz frequency, 528. And this will help with the theta wavelength. And this will help engage you with this DNA activation. Now, what will you experience after you DNA activate? Synchronicity. What's synchronicity? Synchronicity is, I'm going to show you. Here's a little chart of 7 signs of synchronicity. Synchronicity is when events that have nothing to do with each other cross over. For example, let's say I say, oh, you know what? I'll just make something up here right now. I am interested in writing a novel, and I'm admitting to it. And I start to do some research, so it's concrete. And then I go out to the coffee shop, and I'm standing there getting my coffee, in my cup, having it drip into my cup. And then I hear a customer to my left or right or wherever say, oh, I'm writing this novel and I have this publisher. What? I was just thinking of writing a novel. That's synchronicity. So synchronicity is, there's 7 signs of synchronicity. For example, seeing magical numbers. You think of someone who instantly calls or sends a text message right after. That could also be telepathy. Randomly coming across a product or answer that solves a problem you've been having. You know the timing is right for you. So when you DNA activate, you're going to begin to have synchronicity. The people that are supposed to be in your life are going to come forward. Like attracts like. Coincidences and patterns. You'll be able to manifest easily. When you DNA activate, it's going to affect your sleep patterns. You might begin to wake up at a certain hour every night for a while. You may experience periods of time where you have to sleep more. You're tired more. And there's no explanation. You might start to have sensations like buzzing in your ears, and I speak about that. In the last 2 days, I had constant buzzing and ringing in my ears. You might begin to feel tingling on your body parts, or you might feel as though something is affecting your energy field. We all have a human energy field that surrounds us, and in that energy field, we carry all of our experiences. That's why when I say, let's do our ball of light, we're clearing our energy field of old stuff by bringing a ball of light, bringing light into it, energy. And then you might also experience emotional changes. For example, some trauma that you have will all of a sudden lift off of you, and you'll look at it from a different perspective and say, that doesn't bother me anymore. And there might be a day or two that you have a very strong mood swing. Something's like flying around. Oh, it's a moth. Oh my goodness, moth, go away. And let's all allow all of these feelings to be processed. Let go of whatever it is that you need to let go, because sometimes we have to have acceptance, and that's personal experience. In the last 2 weeks, I felt as though I was fighting against my life. And then I said to myself, you know what? I'm just going to accept it and go with the flow. I'm giving you some guidance, and I'm suggesting that you go with the flow. Not everything has to be a battle. And when you awaken to this new reality and you shed, like we spoke about shedding, you're discarding the old version of you, you have to let go with ease, because it can be emotionally draining. So when we let go, we accept, and then we just keep moving and we go with the flow, and there will be change that will come forward. So your DNA activation is the deepest potential, and it's going to it begins at a molecular level. It's awakening of the mind, body, and spirit. And according to geneticists, we have 98% junk DNA and 2% usable. But all of it is usable, and that's what we are discovering. And what does music say? Your dominant thoughts are super important too, because increased manifestation speed power doesn't discriminate between good and bad. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for everyone who's joining us and sharing their comments. I really appreciate it. We are having more of an expanded awareness. We're going to have deeper dreams. And whatever it is that you wanted to achieve is possible. We can spend parts of our life feeling down or defeated, but after you activate your DNA, your original blueprint, all of those past events that you felt defeated, you can overcome. I'm telling you, it's possible. You're going to have less reactive behavior, more creative thoughts, more creative expression, deeper connection with nature. Okay, so let's get on to psychic phenomenon. We haven't done that in a while. And I have had more clarity because of this video that I'm doing for Roku. And it's funny, I've learned so much here doing these live videos with you. And I think that it's actually helped me achieve more within my dreams and desires because I'm sharing them with you. I am intentionally elaborating on my dreams and desires, and I am giving them support and love. And everything that we want, we can have if we have self-love. Have you turned inward and said, I love myself, I accept myself? Have you done that today? Have you looked in the mirror and said, I love myself? And we have to love all the parts of us, even the parts that we aren't so keen on. We're like, I really don't like that part of me. You have to love all of you. And when you love all of you, you can love everything out here in the physical reality so much more. All right, so let's get on to some psychic phenomenon. Now, what I'd like to do first is, if you want to join me, the first thing I would like to do is I'd like to bring some light to another location. We all have that ability. We've been practicing for a long time. You guys are gifted. You have this within you. I'd like us to do some light travel, we could say, and then I would also like to do an exercise related to our chakras. And let's get up to those distant chakras, out into the physical reality. Maybe we're going to hit up maybe the universal chakra and awaken spiritual evolution, divine, divine pathway, infinite creation. We want to reach. We are capable of so much. Let's start with acknowledging our abilities. Now, what are your abilities? Your abilities are going to be something that you have tapped into, your potential, just like we spoke about the DNA activation. And what is your potential? Your potential is going to be that there's going to be one of your clear senses that you are capable of manifesting. And if you practice all three or more. So we are referring to the clair audience, which is hearing beyond the walls of the room, hearing from another source. Everything that I'm speaking of in this moment right now is about receiving, your receiver from another source, or you're a transmitter. When you're sending thoughts, have you been out in the physical reality or around someone that you know, and they answer a question for you? That's happened to me in the last 24 hours, a few times, where I was thinking something and someone answered my question. It happened to me at my place of work, and it happened to me in my home life. And that's how strong my vibration is. And that's how strong your vibration probably is. So our hearing, our clairaudience. Let me remind you, all of these start with some of these steps that we've mentioned, and I'm going to go through them right now. So the first step is going to be, we're going to let go of any tension that we have in our physical body. Any tense, any tension, any stress that we have. So we're going to let go of any of this that we're carrying around in our arms. We're going to drop down. So you're like a rag doll. Maybe you need to let out a breath. Calming it down after a long day. We have to calm down our senses to be able to receive any information. If you have tension, or you're stressed, or you're not going to get anything. You're just not. It's not going to work. It's never going to work that way. You have to let go of everything that's in your physical body, because to tune into your senses, it's almost like you have to have complete quiet going on and lots of concentration and focus. So we push away any doubt. We're going to do 3 inhales and exhales together. We're going to do it, we'll say on a 7 count. So 7 inhale, holding it for 7, 7, exhale. Okay? We're going to do that 3 times. Let's do that together right now. And so as we really see, I already calmed down me. So I feel more calm. You should feel a little bit more relaxed. We want to have a lot of relaxation going on in this moment. Because we really want to receive some information. And there's answers. It's a good way to solve problems through your psychic phenomenon. All right, so we've pushed away any thoughts, any doubt. We're dropping down into our physical self, our physical vessel. We're having focus and concentration. And now we're going to tune into our hearing. And when I say that, I mean we're going to really listen intently. What are you hearing? Example, I can hear some kind of bugs outside. It's like crickets or night insects. Are you hearing any frequencies, any vibrations, any energies? Everyone's going to have their own specific gifts. My gifts aren't going to be the same as yours. You probably have bigger gifts than I do. We all have gifts. So we're listening. We start by listening in the room that we're in. And you will get really good at this. And then you listen beyond the room, as far as you can imagine. Because when you open up this channel within you, you will be surprised in the most bizarre moments you're going to hear something. Maybe going to sleep, maybe waking up, maybe you're driving your car and you're like, what? I just heard something. Now it's not going to be like in this room if I was to make the sound. It's not like that. It's something that you receive within you. It's going to be a physical sensation. All right, so that's our clear audience. Now our third eye. Have you activated it? Your third eye is your clairvoyance. Your knowing, your sixth sense. You have that. You can do that by making a circular motion with your finger. Saying it to yourself, oh, I want to open up my third eye. I want to activate my third eye, maybe by tapping. Tapping to me for some reason is it's not, I don't want to say annoying, but it's doing something for sure. Tapping, you might want to envision a beam of light hitting you. You might want to take some stones. I have a lot of stones right here. I have them all over the place, by the way. You can see all my stones. Maybe you take a raw crystal and you put it there and you say, oh, I want to activate my third eye right now. I don't know why I took that high-pitched voice when I said that. My third eye, I want to activate it. Maybe you just want to ask, please, I want to activate my third eye. Now, sometimes this isn't going to happen in 1 second flat. Maybe it's going to take some time. So that's your clairvoyance. And then our feeling. We're going to tune in and we're going to realize that we are able to understand our emotions more clearly when we have clairsustenance. If you're empathic and you go into a crowd of people and all of a sudden you feel like darts are coming at you, that means you're highly sensitive. And when you're highly sensitive, you can take on others' emotions, their moods. You might be somebody that if you have not mastered your empathy, if someone's in a bad mood, all of a sudden you take it personally. Or if they're crying, you're crying. You're very empathic. Clear sustenance is so helpful if you're empathic, because you realize, okay, it's like you set up a boundary between you and everyone else, because you want to realize your feelings. You don't want to carry around someone else's feelings, because that can make you depressed. That can harm you. When we are feeling badly, initially, it's just your feelings are hurt. But after time, it can make you sick. You can become having an ailment or a sickness if you start to feel bad often. All right, so those three together are claircognizance. All right, so now we're going to go back to the steps, and then I'm going to make a suggestion, and the suggestion is going to be related to sending light, if you'd like to. All right, so we've dropped down, we focused on our breath, we have focus and concentration, and we're going to choose one of our clear senses. Now, maybe it's going to be sense of touch. Maybe it's going to be sense of taste. Maybe it's going to be sense of smell. So whatever you choose, whatever you've established to be your way in. My way in started out with the heart, then it went to clairvoyance. Now it's clairaudience. All right, and so now I'm going to make a suggestion. So we've dropped down, we're focused on our senses, and here's your suggestion. I'd like you to imagine sending light around the globe, and maybe you're going to receive some information as you do it. You are capable of this. I'm suggesting light around the globe. If we do this together, we're going to bring light around the globe. And that's around all of the continents in the whole United States. Okay, and so for me, that made me want to spin light. So I'm going to spin light, and I'm going to see if I receive any information as I'm doing this. This might be advanced, but you can do it. I know you can. Okay, so it's interesting. As I was doing this, I got this very electric feeling on my fingertips, like almost it feels like burning. I did connect with other, I don't know if it's with you or others out there in the physical reality that are sending light. I also saw this color lavender purple, which I've seen in the past. Any experience that you had, share with me? It's very important because. Okay, so there we go. Now I'd like us to focus in together. Here's a little chart to remind you: clairvoyance, clear vision, the ability to see people, objects, locations, and events in the past and the future; clairaudience, clear hearing, the ability to hear things others cannot hear, right? I love clairaudience now. Claircognizance, clear knowing something without reading or hearing about it. All of these are receiving knowledge and information from an outside source, and maybe you're the transmitter, you're sending it, and maybe you're the receiver, you're receiving it. Clear tasting, the ability to taste something without physical contact. Clear smelling. I had that today when I was at my job in the Matrix. I was smelling and tasting things that weren't there. Clear smelling, the ability to access knowledge through smell. Clear sustenance, clear feeling, the ability to psychically feel and receive messages and feelings from and emotions. Okay, music, what'd you receive? Tingling and goosebumps all over. Really? There you go. So it's working. It's working. It's working. It's working. Okay, so here we go. let us remind ourselves of our chakras. And what I'd like us to do is I'd like us to reach beyond ourselves. Now here we go. Here is, I think I have a few charts. Here I do. All right. Now these are all the chakras. We have 12 chakras. Hello. We have 12 chakras. We have 7 in our body and 5 outside of our body. Now I've told you before, we have the root, we have the earth chakra, which is below our feet. And the earth chakra is 12 inches below your feet. And if you want, when you want to ground yourself, you can imagine 12 inches below your feet, a ball of light in the ground, and you can connect to that, and that will help ground you. I've gotten better at it, but when I'm in emotional distress, if I get upset, if something happens that is unexpected, and I feel overwhelmed, I realize, ground yourself. And I don't know if this has happened to you, but I suggest you try to imagine this earth chakra, which is 12 inches below your feet in the ground, this ball of light, to connect to it. So we have the earth chakra, and then we always speak about the root chakra, which is at the base of your spine. And then we have the sacral chakra, which is at your sex organs. The sacral, what is it? The sacral, the solar plex chakra, right? Which is right here, which is above your belly button. And so we'll go through it. The root chakra is going to be, well, the earth chakra is Mother Earth connection, safety. The root chakra is the base of your spine. It's grounding, secure, center. All of this matters. If any of these are out of whack, you're going to be out of whack. It's going to affect you. Your solar plex chakra is going to be your power source, your growth, your self-esteem. Your sacral chakra, right? Your sex organs is your sexuality, your creativity, your dwelling of self. Your heart chakra is the center of physical heart, relationship with self, compassion, emotions, doorway to divine love. That's important, isn't it? Your throat chakra, it's about conveying your truth. I had mine blocked for a long time. It is about expression and listening. Your third eye chakra, between your brows, your forehead, clairvoyance, sensing, intuition, wisdom, awareness, inner vision. Your crown chakra, the very top of your head, is your higher spiritual realms, your vision, spiritual growth, your soul purpose. Now, beyond that, we're going to go up here, which is your soul. No, it's your, what is this one? Soul star chakra, which is outside your body, dimensions, doorways. You know what? Maybe we'll start with that one tonight. Your soul chakra, the 12 below your feet thing helps with posture. Oh, good. So we're going to do your soul star chakra. We're going to go right here, right? Which is, we'll say it's 12 inches above your head. 6 to 12 inches. Akashic records, doorways, dimensions, infinite power. Let's start there. Let's imagine a ball of light. So if I was like here maybe, right? A ball of light. So we're going to imagine a ball of light right here. We're going to close our eyes. And what I'd like us to do is I'd like us to quickly go through our steps. And I'd like us to tune into this. Imagine a sphere above your head. 6 to 12 inches, you're looking for your soul star chakra, your soul star chakra, okay? So we're going to close our eyes. We're going to put all our weight in our bottom. We're going to be like a jellyfish. We're going to let out a breath. Focus on our breath for a minute. We're going to drop down into our physical vessel, push away any doubt. Have a willingness to accept. There's not going to be any proof. And we're going to have focus and concentration. And now I'd like us to visualize, imagine this ball of light above our heads, which is our soul star chakra. And then I'd like you to tune into your senses and see if you sense anything. Maybe it's going to be an answer. Maybe you're going to connect to a doorway. I'm going to be quiet for a minute and let's see what you receive. I'm going to go to my clear audience. Okay, in doing that, I just want to share with you, I tried listening. There's no listening going on. So when you don't receive any information, try different senses. And if you just don't pressure yourself and let go, it's the best thing to do because you don't want to have any tension. It's best to just see what flows in, what information flows to you. So I'm saying your soul star chakra, which is about 6 to 12 inches above your head, your crown chakra, and it's a ball of light above you. It's one of your chakras. And are you receiving any information? It's a doorway to another dimension. All right, so I received a lot. I was first hearing 12 inches below. I was receiving, first of all, after I let go of hearing anything, then I heard different words came through. And when I know it's not me because I'm hearing it and it's not me, it's not even a thought I have. And then I went to my feeling. Am I feeling anything? Then I saw something. So I looked through that chakra into another dimension. And then this, I think it was a version of me came out and was spinning the world or spinning something. It was almost like a character from the circus. And it was, I don't even know how to describe it. It was in a circular motion spinning. And it was spinning all different directions. And I was hearing, look at the world from a different perspective. It was kind of advice. So I don't know. That's what I received. Did anyone receive anything? Anybody else receive anything? That's what I received. Okay, so before we go, what I would like to do is I'd like us to rub our hands together, because I want us to bring more light into your physical reality, more light into your human energy field, which surrounds your body. And I'm Mary Amy, and tonight we spoke about shedding, emergency broadcast system. Is there going to be an emergency alert, and what's going to happen? What is that going to bring? Is that positive or negative? We don't know. Are you going to leave your phone on October 4th at 2:20 in the United States? And we also mentioned DNA activation. Of course, we've been doing psychic phenomenon, and I mentioned angels or beings of light. Okay, so let's do a ball of light. Let's rub our hands together, and we take it away from our body, and we hopefully have some kind of feeling on our palms. Now, if you've taken any kind of medication or pain medicine or even just an aspirin or Tylenol, you might not feel anything. But hopefully you can cup your hands together and you're bringing light. And it's a ball of energy. It's a ball of light. Up there's that moth again. And I'm bringing light around here because I'm clearing away any negativity or darkness. Now, there's so much we can do with this ball of light. This ball of light can bring light into our world. This ball of light, we can use it as a source of answers. We can ask the ball of light a question like we used to when we were kids, the magic 8 ball. Maybe you are imagining yourself in this ball of light and seeing something, or you're standing beside it, or again, it's just you're bringing light around you. And so for me, I like to bring light around myself, and I hope you bring light. And that's about it for tonight. So I'm going to put my hand back together. We rub our hands together. And I'm spinning light, and you're in the center of it, and you're making a wish. Good things for you. I want good things for you. You're a beautiful being of light. Doesn't matter where you live, what you have, what you look like, or what you do. You're worthy as is. So make a wish. You're in the center of it. I'm spinning light, a band of light. It's a foot long. It's white light, and it's spinning around you. And you're spinning the opposite direction, which is creating a Merkaba. Merkaba. Okay, and I'm spinning it the other way, and you're in the center of it, and you're making a wish, something that you really want. See it with all your senses. What does it feel like? What does it look like? Vivid color, okay? And that's it. Everyone be well. I'll be back again next week. See you soon.